Good morning, children. We'll continue the lesson, the 6 Napoleons, page 98. Now, we completed till page 99, middle of that page we completed that. And the 6 Napoleons refers to the bust of Napoleon made out of plaster of Paris. And so, the first Napoleon was found at Moss Hudson's shop in Kennington Road. It was smashed and nothing was stolen from the shop. Then later on, 2 other busts were found from Dr. Barnicot's, one in the house and one in his surgery. Here also nothing is stolen, only the bust is completely smashed. That is, and the 4th one was found in Horace Harker, a journalist, in his house. So, in that place also, nothing was stolen, but the detectives, the police department had to be informed because a man was lying dead at the doorstep. And the police department was informed about this, not because the bust was broken, but because a man was lying dead at the doorstep. And Horace Harker, hearing a scream, he came down with a poker, that is a big metal rod, and he found the man lying dead. Who was the murdered man? Holmes asked Lestrade. Lestrade is the detective from Scotland Yard. That is the police headquarters, the London police. We don't know. He is a tall, sunburned, strong man, not more than 30. Poorly dressed. A clasp knife lay in the blood near him, a knife which you can open and close. We don't know yet if that was the murder weapon. There is no clue to his identity. They are not able to find. The Lestrade says that they are not able to identify this dead body. His pocket contained an apple, a map of London, and a photograph. Here it is. So these things were found in the pocket of that person who was killed. What happened to the bust? Holmes inquired. It has been found in the front garden of an empty house in Camden House Road. It was broken into fragments. Here also the bust of Napoleon is broken into pieces and it was found at an empty house in Camden House Road. We accompanied the policeman to Camden House Road. We is Holmes and Watson. Holmes picked up the broken pieces of the Napoleon and examined them carefully. The possession of this trifling bust, that is, for the sake of this small bust, which is not much valuable, a life was lost. A man was killed by the person who wanted to possess this bust. The possession of this trifling means unimportant, small, worthless bust was worth more in the eyes of this strange criminal than a human life. So the Holmes is wondering why the person had to kill, why the criminal had to kill another man for the sake of this bust, which is actually very inexpensive. He observed, let's see now, why did he choose the house to break the Napoleon? Why did he choose this empty house when there was another house ahead? Another empty house was there. There is another empty house on the street which he must have passed before he came to this one. He would have already crossed that other empty house before he came to this house. And they are wondering why he chose this house. I give up, said Lestrade. Lestrade cannot find an answer to why the criminal chose this empty house instead of the one that was before. Holmes pointed to the street lamp above our heads. He could see what he was doing here and he could not there. That is why the criminal chose the second house instead of the first one. Because there was a street lamp right in front of the house. Holmes pointed to the street lamp above our heads. He could see what he was doing here and he could not dare. So it is night and he wanted the light of the street lamp the criminal wanted the light of the street lamp to see what he had found, what he had doing. By Jove, Jove is just an expression. That is true, exclaimed Lestrade. And now, sir, I think we should pursue our inquiries singly. That is, Lestrade should do his own investigation and Holmes and Watson will continue in a different way, in a different path, their investigation. We can compare notes afterwards. Afterwards, they can come together and discuss what they have found. So they are going to investigate this case separately. I should like to keep this photograph found in the dead man's pocket till this evening. Perhaps we could meet at Baker Street at 6. I might need your company and assistance for a small expedition tonight. Until then, goodbye and good luck. He needs the help of Lestrade for a small expedition, a small trip to do something. Not very much, but something. Until then, goodbye and good luck. So Lestrade investigates the case in one direction and Holmes and Watson will investigate the same case in another direction. The case is about 4 busts of Napoleon are broken. The robber did not take anything from the house in which was burgled and one man was found killed. We drove down to Moss Hudson, the picture dealer's establishment, that is the shop of Moss Hudson, which you see in the picture opposite. Mr. Hudson remembered having sold the Napoleon to Dr. Barnicot. He told us he had got it from Gelder and Company in Church Street. That is, the shopman at Moss Hudson told them that he got the Napoleon bust from Gelder and Company. Holmes showed him the photograph. That is the photograph which was found in the dead man's pocket. Why, it's Beppo. He immediately recognized and says that it is Beppo. The man in the photo is Beppo. He cried. He was an Italian who made himself useful in the shop. He had been working in Moss Hudson's shop, that is Beppo, and did odd jobs. Odd jobs means going to get something from the market, cleaning up the shop, all these things he used to do. He left me last week and I have no idea where he went. Beppo went away, left the shop last week and the shopkeeper does not know where he has gone. We left the shop to make our way to Gelder and Company. That is the shop which sold the Napoleon bust to Moss Hudson. The manager, a big blonde German, blonde is golden hair or yellow hair, answered all of Holmes' questions readily. Very eagerly, very quickly, he replied to all the questions put forward by Holmes. His books showed that out of a batch of 6 heads of Napoleon, he had sent 3 to Moss Hudson and 3 to Harding Brothers. That is how the Napoleon bust was distributed. 3 busts went to Moss Hudson's shop, 3 went to Harding Brothers, the shop of Harding Brothers. The bust was made from 2 profiles of plaster of Paris. That is the material used for making the bust, plaster of Paris, joined together. This work was usually done by Italians. When Holmes showed him the photograph, his face flushed with anger. Holmes showed the manager of Gelder and Company the photo, that is the photo of Beppo, and looking at the photo he became angry. His face flushed with anger means red with anger. Colors are associated with feelings. We say green with jealousy, red with anger. I know this man very well. It was more than a year now. It was more than a year ago now. He knifed another Italian in the chest. Beppo had stabbed another Italian, and so the manager of Gelder and Company knows him. I know this man very well. It was more than a year now, that is a year ago. He knifed another Italian in the chest and then came here with the police on his heels. On his heels means the police were chasing him, trying to find him out because he had stabbed another Italian. Beppo is his name. He was a good worker too, one of the best. He's very good at his work, that is making this plaster bus. One of the best. He got off with a year. He must be out by now. He was put for 1 year in prison and then he was set free and now he is out of prison. We have a cousin of his here. He could tell you where he is. That is, a cousin of Beppo is in the shop, and if Holmes wants, he can talk to him. No, Holmes cried, because the cousin might inform Beppo that they are after him. They are trying to find him out. No, Holmes cried. Not a word to this cousin. The matter is one of great importance. Could you give me the date when Beppo was arrested? I see from your books that the Napoleons were sold on the 3rd of June last year. The German looked through his ledger. Ledger is the book where they keep an account of the date when people come to the shop and purchase the goods from the shop. Here this is a shop which sells busts or which sells statues. Holmes thanked him for his cooperation and support, and we made our way to the shop of the Harding brothers. They went to this shop. The owner of the establishment consulted the sales book and informed us that he had sold one Napoleon to Mr. Harker, one to Josiah Brown of Laburnum Lodge, Cheswick, and the third to Mr. Sandford of Lower Grove. That is how the 3 Napoleons were distributed. One was taken by Mr. Harker, that is Horace Harker. Then the second one to Josiah and the third to Mr. Sandford. That is, Mr. Sandford lives in Lower Grove Road, Reading. Reading is a town in England which is pronounced as Reading. Lower Grove Road, Reading. It is pronounced like that. He did not recognize Beppo's photograph, but said he had several Italians among his work people. This manager at Gelder did not recognize Beppo's photograph, but he had many Italians working in his shop. All of them could easily get a peep at the sales book if they wanted to. The sales book is the information regarding the sales, the selling of things in the shop, the date, and maybe the person who bought the material, and also his address might be there. That is the sales book, the ledger. Lestrade was already waiting for us when we reached Baker Street. They had promised to meet each other at Baker Street. He was jubilant. He was extremely happy, for he had identified the dead man. That is why he is happy. Now Lestrade, instead of finding out why the criminal destroyed the Napoleon bus, he is trying to deal with the case of the dead man. He had already identified the dead man. He is one Pietro Venusi from Naples, the dead person whom they found at Horace Harker's doorstep, who lived in the Italian quarter. He is connected with the mafia. Mafia is a secret organization of criminals. So he is connected with them, that is this Petro. And one of the greatest cutthroats in London. Cutthroats means very easily and for no reason at all, very quickly they kill other people. They cut the throat of other people. That is why they are called cutthroats. That is a mafia organization, a criminal organization. The other fellow is probably Italian too. But what about the bust? Holmes asked. Now, the person who is identified as the dead man is Pietro, and the person who stabbed him might also be an Italian. But what about the bust? Holmes asked. Never mind the bust. It is the murder we are really investigating. So here you see that Lestrade is more interested in finding out details about the murder rather than finding out why the criminal destroyed the Napoleon bus. I propose to go to the Italian quarter and arrest this man on a charge of murder. They have found out that he lives somewhere near the Italian quarters, the area where Italians stay. Will you come with us? I fancy we are more likely to find him in Chiswick tonight. That is the house of Josiah Brown, where another Napoleon was bought. Another Napoleon will be found there. So Holmes says it is better that we go to Josiah in Chiswick and we might be able to catch the murderer there. If we don't, I promise to go to the Italian quarter with you tomorrow. I have an urgent letter to send, and then perhaps we should rest a while before we venture out. The letter that Holmes wants to send, the urgent letter, the important letter, he is going to send it to Josiah of Chiswick. Josiah had purchased a bust from Gelder and Company. It was 11 o'clock when we drove to Laburnum Street. We left the cab, that is the taxi, at a distance from Laburnum Lodge and walked up to the house. Now Josiah is already informed that Watson and Holmes will be visiting them. We left the cab at a distance from Laburnum Lodge and walked up to the house. The occupants had retired to rest and all was dark except the light over the hall door. One single light in the hall was burning. We crouched nearby in the shadow of the fence. Crouched means they tried to hide themselves. They did not want to be discovered by anybody who is coming to that house to steal the Napoleon which Josiah had bought. Before long, they did not have to hide for a long time. A light, dark figure. Light means very thin, elegant, very quick in his movements. Before long, a light, dark figure sped up the garden path and vanished past the hall light. A gentle creaking sound told us a window was being opened. Soon we saw the flash of a lantern inside the room.